and let's get to the point with the basic principles. We start with the first principle, which is breathing, and in Pilates you want to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Also, you don't want to breathe in lifting up your shoulders like this, because it creates stress when you do like abdominal exercise. And you also don't want to inspire with your inhale with your stomach, because if you're doing an abdominal exercise, then all the time your spine changes due to the respiration. So what you really want to do is inhale, moving your rib cage to the side, open your rib cage to the side like this, and exhale like this. So why don't you try it with me, to put your hands on your ribs and inhale, the ribs open to the side, and exhale, they're closed. Okay, we go to the second principle, which is the placement of the pelvis. And in Pilates you talk a lot about the neutral spine. So neutral means that you have the lordosic curve, the kyphosis in the dorsal part, and another lordosis here on the cervical spine. To have your spine work perfect, you want the perfect curve. So you don't really want to take out any here, and you don't want to take out any curve in your lumbar spine. You just want to keep or get back to the ideal curves for your body, and that is also your largest position, and also it works then better like spring. So we are talking about the neutral position, which is the largest position we have with the natural curves. And we are also talking about the imprinted position, which is basculating your hips. So it's like this. You activate your stomach muscles a little bit, and it's like you go like this. You can do it on the floor too. I show you later how to do it on the floor, but since you're inflated your fit ball, I hope you can perfectly try it here. So its imprint is like this, and the neutral is like thinking you're growing. Also in Pilates, in a lot of exercises, you think you grow. So if you take it from the side, the neutral position will have the natural curves, right? So you don't want to sit like this, and you also don't want to overextend it like this, because a lot of people think when they're straight it has to be like this. Well, that's not true. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. So this is the neutral, yes, and the imprint is like this. So why don't you try it with me? Every exhale you go to imprint, and every inhale through your nose you go to the neutral position. I will mention in the workout neutral and imprint a lot, and in the beginning maybe you make mistakes, but it doesn't matter. This is imprint and this is neutral. Okay, so depending on exercise we work in those two positions. The third principle I want to talk about is placement of the ribs. So we have been talking about the imprint and the neutral, which is of the hips. Now we go to the ribs. Okay, so what you don't want to do in general is stick out your rib cage. Okay, so because the spine changes, so you want to keep it connected with the pelvic floor, activating the pelvic floor muscle and the transversus muscle, and also the obliques work, and to stabilize the rib cage. So activating the core muscles is helping to stabilize also this part. So for example, we do an exercise. If you lift up your hands like this, naturally what occurs is it opens like this. Okay, so it sticks out the rib cage. If you don't think, a lot of people do like exercises, or even if you go in the gym and you work out with bars like this all the time, it changes this. And for example, also the squat, you want to keep it stabilized as much as you can in many cases. So why don't we try it? So inhale, we move up your arms, and exhale, we go down. Now this is not any difficult exercise, it's to train your mind to be aware where your rib cage is. So if you want to repeat it a couple of times, which will be a good warm-up too, you can also turn it the reverse, and I will take it later on the floor. All those things I will take on the floor. Yeah. So now we go to the fourth principle, which is the scapular stabilization and mobilization. The scapula are the two bones on the back, and okay, so for example, if you're sitting like this, the scapula will be in abduction, A, B, you know, they will be too much separated. And in your neutral spine, you don't want it to be together too much, you know, when you put the scapula in the back together, but you also don't want it to be like this. So in the warm-up, we're going to move them. So one exercise will be inhale, separate the scapula, and exhale, pull them together. Now when you pull them together, you have to imagine your scapula like this. It's like when you want to put your, you know, when you want to put your hands in your pockets like this. It's the same with the scapula. Okay, so the scapula is imagining like you want to put the scapula in their pockets when you want to stabilize. And we do some exercises. So we do an abduction and an adduction of the scapula. It's also good, like it works a little bit like a massage and loosens up the muscles. So here it's inhale through your nose, abduction, and exhale through your mouth, adduction. My respiration talking is not good at all, but try to do it. Couple times, 3 to 5 times, and now we go to the elevation of the scapula and the depression of the scapula. So inhale, move up, and exhale, move down. So the ideal position of your scapula is not here and not here, it's in between, yeah? And most of the time we don't want the scapula here, but in this plane we want them down. So we work, you know. Ian, puesto a nivel. No lo sé. Okay, I'm sorry about this. Where were we? Okay, the scapula. And I also explain it on the floor when you get to the floor, right? Okay, so now we are going, you won't believe it, to the last principle, which is the position of your head. And your head, if you, for example, in a rotation, you want your head to follow where your spine goes. So if your spine goes in rotation, your head goes in rotation. You don't want your head to be like this, for example, or an over rotation. Also in a flex, your head wants to, you want to follow. Extension, you want to, follow the spine with your head. So those are the principles, basically. I will go to the floor right now. Okay, so to move down on the floor, you don't want just to crash. So safely, or roll down on your spine, or you just go down to this side and then roll to the back. So just for safety. Hope you can see me. I put my legs on the ball, but you can also put them on the floor. And also you might want to put a pad on the back. I need one, but for now I don't, because then the neck would be better. So why don't we go again through the basic principles, and we start with the breathing. The hands are on the ribs, and inhale we go out and exhale down. So avoid lifting up the shoulders again and moving the stomach in and out. Go to the hip placement, and we want it in a neutral placement. So neutral, if you put your hands on your hips like this, with the palms of your hands on the crest and the fingertips towards your pubic bone, that plane should be parallel to this floor, right? If it's not, if it's like this, it's not in a neutral position, or ear and hyperextension is also. But you have to change your chip from fitness. Many years they said you have to all the time stay like this, but this only creates stress in the spine and in your cervical spine. So In many exercises we go back to the neutral position. So why don't you try it? If you want, stop the video and try it a couple of times. So we go to the imprinted position and the neutral position. So exhale to the imprinted position and inhale through the nose through the neutral position. So we move up to the rib placement, and remember, if you moving all the time, you want to stabilize the center. So you think about lifting up your pelvic floor and tensing this muscle like you would close pants that are really tight, right? So all the time you are activated, right? Before any exercise, you sometimes if you think, you make sure you're activated. So now we go to the ribs. So inhale, we move up the arms, and exhale, we move to the side. So inhale, we move up, and exhale to the side. And all the time try to not have your rib poked out. So if you want, stop the video and try this a couple of times. Now we go to the shoulder blades. Do the same exercise as before, but now head up. So inhale, we move up your fingertips, and exhale, you remember in the first part where I said an adduction. Okay, so inhale an abduction and exhale an adduction. Stop in the middle because that's the ideal position. And then you could do, for example, one exercise like this, which is the scissors, for example, where you think about the ribs and also about your shoulder blades stabilization. Then your hands on the floor. It's really cold, the floor. I left my mat at the gym and I just don't have a mat. It's really cold. But inhale, move up the shoulders, and exhale, move down your fingertips. That's also two positions what we practiced before, and you want to keep it down. Okay, so you want to keep your fingertips down. So we do, for example, an abdomen exercise. No, we first go to the head, I'm sorry. So the head placement. So here, remember, in a flex, you want it to be following the line of the spine. Yeah, yes, we do. We are going to do the ab prep. So before you do an abdominal, you want to make sure your hips are in neutral, not in imprint. Okay, with Pilates, a lot of neutral, so you want to change that chip. It's there where we're going to change. If we do everything always the same, we never change. And also think about the neck placement. So you have the first two vertebrae, which are the atlas and axis. Those you want to prepare. So you think of inhale, prepare, exhale, go up, stay in a neutral, inhale, we stay, and exhale down. We did some exercises before where you lifted up one leg in a tabletop position and down, and then went to the other, and try to keep the abs flat. You remember that? Well, here's the same. So when you do the ab, when you go up, you don't want your abs to bulge out like this. So you want to have your pelvic floor up, this connected. And when you do an abdominal, you try to keep it as flat as possible, because it's there where you don't activate all your muscles and create more stress at parts we don't need. And I think this is enough information for now. I will make next video will be a warm-up, complete warm-up, where the principles are put together, but I won't speak so much. So